and welcome to Kidtropolis News Investigates. I'm your host, Sarah Martin, and tonight we look at the pattern of strange parent behaviors and what the Children's Museum of Houston is trying to do to help them. For several years now, the Children's Museum of Houston has been observing a startling behavior emerge in the parent visitors.
We noticed some parents watching their kids play, but they seem uncertain on how to engage with them. They stand off, looking a little confused as though they aren't sure what they should be saying or doing. Then they pull out their phones, take a photo, and upload it to social media.
And it wasn't isolated to one or two exhibits or a few families, but happened all over the museum with many different families.
Parents watch what the kids are doing, then take out their phones, take a photo, and either post it or text it, or sometimes just save it for later.
It became obvious to the museum staff that these parents needed help understanding how to engage with their kids. But what was the root cause? The Children's Museum of Houston staff interviewed parents to better understand.
Well, my son loves playing at the Amazing Airways exhibit, and I wanted to discuss the science going on, but I just don't remember it that well. We read the signs together, but that just brought up more questions from him. I didn't know the answers, and I froze. I deflected the questions by taking a photo of him at the exhibit and posting it on Facebook.
My daughter just ran up and sat down at Build a Molecule. I wanted to help her, but I never took organic chemistry, so I was a little intimidated about working with the molecular models. So I just let her build away while I stood back and took photos of her in her lab coat.
So, parents need more information to help them understand what they could be doing with their kids. But how could they provide all this extra information to help parents customize learning? Then the education team realized that parents had already told them what they really wanted.
An app.
Some photos on an app.
I'm not 100% convinced that an app was really going to solve their problem. An app may make more sense in a collections-based museum like an art museum, but in our high-energy, hands-on environment, would parents even be able to take out their phones to look at an app? Maybe in some areas it would work better than others.
I had some reservations about giving parents an app to use. After all, we really wanted them to engage with their children, not read stuff on their phone. They were already pulling out their phones to text and to take photos. Also, it was something they were asking for. They felt it would improve their experience, so it was worth testing.
With a grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, the museum launched the Extending and Customizing Learning Project, or XCL for short. They gathered partners from across the U.S., each with similar questions about how to help parents engage with their children more deeply in their unique hands-on environment. Working together, they developed the More app platform.
The More app platform was designed to provide semi-customizable series of options that museums and science centers can use to create and sort content into categories based on exhibitions and exhibits.
In the More platform, you have a base hierarchy of exhibits from which you can drill down into individual exhibits. With each exhibit, there are different categories for information that the museum wants to provide.
What I really like about the More platform is that you can create your own categories of information that match the sorts of questions visitors ask at an exhibit, like, what do I do? What's happening? Or how can I continue this learning at home?
It really allows us the opportunity to customize the content based on the exhibits and how families interact with them.
So more than being able to just create different categories, we can include all kinds of different information in the post for different types of learners.
So we can include text, links, photos, videos, and even interactive polling with our visitors, but all designed in a way that reduces how long they focus on the phone so they can quickly go back to the most important part, the hands-on learning at the exhibits.
So we added in age filtering feature to help parents sort through content that is appropriate for their kids.
When you activate age filtering, you select your kids' ages. Then the app sorts the content into different age categories, so you can select content that aligns with your kids' level of understanding and engagement.
We were still questioning whether or not visitors really would take the time to pull out their phone, or even if they would download the app after they were already in the museum. To test this, we not only used the app on mobile devices, but we also set up tablets at some components to see if that was a better way for families to interface with the app content.
Varied content categorized by exhibit and types of questions. Different types of contents for different types of learners. The ability to filter the content based on ages and even different platforms to access the content. But would it really help the parents? Opinions varied.
The most important thing is that it doesn't take away from the hands-on learning experience. It actually deepens the conversations that parents can have with their children.
I think while it has great info, parents aren't going to have time to really access it the way they envisioned.
I think we've developed a great way to communicate with parents and help them communicate with their kids. The app even allows for comments, which is a great way for visitors and content developers to communicate with each other.
I'm not sure everyone's going to use it, but that's fine. It's not meant to be a required part of the museum experience.
The ones that use it, they're going to love it.
In the end, the XCL team developed a flexible platform that they believe provides information to parents at hands-on exhibits without sacrificing the importance on hands-on educational value of the exhibits. Questions obviously linger as to the final impact of this project to visitors. The XCL team is currently wrapping up a summative evaluation report on their work. You can follow along on their progress and access the final report through their website at 21tech.org. This has been Sarah Martin with Kidtropolis News Investigates. Thank you for watching and good night.